This episode is brought to you by Logic. I wish more people would use it. There were a lot of topics that I could have done for this first episode of Heathenist Talk, but I decided to choose one that was kind of really near to me as far as relevancy, and that is the idea that black folks don't do atheism. And this idea pretty much is a sort of Christian centric deal prevalent among the black sphere, particularly in the Bible Belt, which is the geographic location to which I am a part of. And this really be informative, but more so a rant, because I'm just kind of tired of it myself. But anyway, this whole notion that black people have to be generalized to a certain subsection of people or ideology is pure and utter nonsense. There are numerous black atheists, even down here in Birmingham. Obviously, you can count me among them. My friends, as well, couple of them that definitely are atheists themselves. And the interesting thing, for some of the atheists I know down here, not just the black people, but some of the just atheists in general, I became believe deeply in Christianity and all that stuff. And it wasn't until they got to Catholic high school with me and certain other people who are also atheists that they just kind of dropped all of that when you present them with the evidence and everything. These are smart people, going to high school, because private schools are a lot better than our public schools here as far as quality of education. Now, there are some top-notch high schools in the Birmingham area, not Birmingham City proper, but the Birmingham area, that are actually really good, really top-notch, nationally ranked schools. But private schools, they're typically really high up echelon. And I guess when you get down to the higher, I don't want to say it as an insult, so I'm trying to say this as nice as possible, the higher echelon of, I guess, intelligent people, typically intelligent people in general are more exploratory than most other people. If you have high, well higher than average IQ, you typically are more inquisitive by nature. And being that if you're at Christian high school, and for all intents and purposes this will be a Catholic high school, with the level of teachers, the quality of teachers they had, even in classes such as physical science and physics and chemistry and stuff like that, biology. Unless you're just really indoctrinated into Catholicism or Christianity in general, you start to question things. For me, it didn't come down to that. I never actually believed this stuff. It was just going with the motions so I don't get that butt whooping, but that could be a whole nother topic, And that's kind of where I want to go ahead on is one of the reasons why I think that most blacks have this idea is this whole deal with being stuck in this sort of notion of a neo-slave mentality almost. I don't really want to say slave mentality, but it really is. I mean, I think I've been watching some of Great Square's video. He did the Center for Inquiry in Toronto. He did a discussion / show there, and he was saying, the parts of Africa where most black people come from in this country, they didn't have this whole notion of Christianity until they were enslaved. I mean, the whole idea is that black people even got Christianity in the first place was because of slave masters teaching them this stuff. We're not really teaching them, but forcing them, converting them into this notion, because a lot of things in the Bible is pro-slavery. And you can even make the argument that even a whole bunch of the stuff in there is pro-racial based slavery. Now, I'm not one to really bring up race a lot of times or whatever, because I mean, race honestly is a socially constructed idea. And honestly, I really do, from everything I'm seeing, it mostly comes down to religion. Religion what really caused all of, this whole idea. As as human beings, we don't just look at, colors and just, initially look at colors and just be like, oh, that's wrong, oh, that's right, or at least that's what I think. I'm not a psychologist. I didn't go to college for it, so take what you will for that. But this whole idea that if you're black, you're supposed to just be this certain way. A strong black man. Let me just explain this. The typical view of a strong black man from black women, from the general consensus of black women, is a man that's, number one, first and foremost, a church going man. Gotta always go to church. Think about, Steve Harvey type. And I'm not even talking about Steve Harvey type sans all the adultery issues that he has. I'm talking about even with the adultery issues. Many black women still consider him a strong black man, type. They're strong disciplinarians towards children. Now, there is a split between whether the woman is subservient or the man is subservient. But I think typically it comes down to, at some points, the man is subservient to the woman, and some at other points the woman is subservient. So really, it comes down to subservience at certain times. That's one. 2, strong disciplinary towards children. And 3, but the primary sort of ideal for a strong black man, call it black chivalry, if you will, is churchgoer. Strong churchgoer. Get up on Sundays, every damn Sunday, 6 o'clock. Get the kids up. Make sure they washed up, ready to go to church at 7 o'clock, Bible study, or you know, and service at 8, 9:30, whatever. Depends on which church you go to. I mean, and I know that blacks use the church as sort of a rallying cry of Afrocentricity. But me, I'm not somebody that, I don't consider myself an Afrocentrist. I think we're better off if we stop basing ourselves based on, categorizing ourselves based on, the color of skin or the socioeconomic background. I think we really are better off if we don't do that. That being said, the church, the black church, was really this whole sort of rallying point for black thought, black concern, and for black people to redress their grievances. And it's unfortunate that today, and I can understand that back, the 19th century, 20th century, when we just didn't have a lot of evidence. I mean, we had the evidence. I haven't said about. We had evidence on stuff, but the information wasn't readily available. We didn't have, there wasn't the internet. I mean, hell, I'm young. I'm a young person, 27. Even when I was growing up in the early mid 90s, hell, most people didn't have internet. Most people didn't. Hell, we didn't get internet till middle school. Till I was in middle school, about and well into that, about 99, 2000. So the information wasn't there. For me, it was like I didn't know the terms. I mean, I was atheist, but I didn't know the term of atheist, and I kind of played the whole idea, because that was my sort of exploratory type day years, where in my hardest times, I used to get up there and just ask whatever. I used to be like, whatever's out there, please let me, get through this tribulation and stuff. It wasn't a Christian thing, because I already knew Christianity was bullshit. I wasn't praying to Christian God, or well, I shouldn't say Christian God, Abrahamic God, or anything like that. I was just, I guess in my mind, in retrospect, it was just me trying to cope with hard issues. And really, that's what it comes down to. It's a, prayer and all this stuff is a coping mechanism for, and not really for things that people don't understand. It's like, do you understand? You get the info, your rational side of your brain telling you that all this stuff makes sense. But you can't break that because you love this coping mechanism you have. For me, I was fortunate enough to break that coping mechanism real early. So by the time I was in high school, I didn't believe none of that stuff. And count me as like one of two black people. And now to get this in perspective, there wasn't a lot of black people at this school. Most of the black people even played sport. I played sport. Friends played sports and everything. There wasn't too many black people that was there. So me being a black person that was at this point atheist, straight up and down atheist. I still kind of dabbled with religious studies. I want to check out what Jews think and Muslims think, and at this point, I was really big into Buddhism, which at this point I'm kind of like I think a lot of things Gautama said was great and profound, but I don't really call myself Buddhist. But a lot of I went through that sort of period of just studying other things. Could I be wrong about deities? Did all my research and everything. Shit, I knew at that at that point that there was no God. But now I was isolated because there was nobody else that thought like me. One of my friends was kind of on this whole sort of middle ground. Like, I don't know which way to go. I'm teetering on both sides and everything. My other friend who was there with me, but we weren't hanging out until sophomore year. I didn't even know, cause I ain't bringing up too much religious stuff. Anyway, initially in high school, we just boys hanging out. But it turned out he was atheist as well, and he pretty much the same thing. He was just playing lip service, paying lip service, so you don't so you don't get corporal punishment. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I was friends with him in the first place. With two black kids, I don't even like to say black because I do like to represent my Native American side, just as a little caveat there. With two black atheists there, and we both had the same friend who was kind of teetering on the edge. By senior year, he was done with it. He was done with it. He was pretty much atheist. He was just still playing lip service for the sake of his family. But we had to stick together. So I do understand why these organizations like Black Atheists of Atlanta and Black Nonbelievers, Black Nonbelievers of Houston, I think it is, or whatever. I do understand why these organizations exist. And I wouldn't mind starting my own organization, albeit it'll be minority atheists. And minority, I guess that'd be a good name for it. I don't know if anybody else come up with it. If this is the first time, time I come up with it, and you want to use it, too bad. I came up with it first. If you already came up with it, my apologies. But I do understand why organizations like Black Atheists do exist, because the whole mentality of blacks don't do atheism is nonsense. We need to show the black sphere that, of course, blacks do atheism. There's no sort of rules or regulations that say black people can't do atheism. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion. Now, just because I don't do Christianity don't mean that I disrespect Christians, black Christians, and everything. It's just black Christians just kind of get on my nerves because they just shove it in your face. And I'm wanting the whole thing in respect. You gotta give respect to get it. So you shove your religion in my face, I'm gonna shove my atheism in your face. And believe me, I got more ammunition, cause I don't have a book. I don't have a book. I don't have a dogma. Atheists, we don't have dogmas. As far as what is what entails being an atheist. All things that require to be an atheist is for somebody to make a claim about a deity, and we reject, and for somebody else to reject that claim. The person that rejects is atheist. It's like the saying, I forgot who said that. who first said it, but the whole idea that everybody is an atheist. Atheists just go one god further. I mean, it's true. It really is. But I guess that depends on what you consider gods. Some people like to redefine the term God to say that atheism is a religion, all that stuff. Well, look, they worshiping materialism. Materialism is their religion, all this stuff. Nah, come on now. Cut the bullshit. Material items ain't no damn God. Now, do people get to the point where it's almost as close to worshiping as you can get? Yes. Is that good? No. But it's not like worshiping God. You don't have this false, at least if you worship, like, I don't know, Jordans, I guess. Being down in the hood, Jordan. At least if you worship Jordans, you have something tangible. There's something tangible. There's something you can see. There's something you can hold. There's something you can use. What do you get from worshiping a deity that's in your mind? That something that's passed down from your family that didn't have enough info, about how the world works. Like, what's your excuse? You have the info. We have the technology. We have the internet. What's your excuse? And I think of all people, blacks need to be the most atheists of all people, seeing as how much religion has damaged us. You got not just Christianity. I mean, we already know what Christianity has done. But, Islam, even Islam. I ain't talking about all Islamic sects. I'm just talking about the fundies. Just like I ain't talking about all Christians. I'm just talking about the fundies. So anybody who getting their pants in a bunch. I'm not talking about Islam in general and all this stuff. I'm not. I practice the whole thing of, if you want to believe in this religion, that's fine. Believe in this religion. I can care less. Just keep your religion away from me. I don't want it. That's my whole thing. Believe what you want. Believe in the two-parent wheel. Believe in Santa Claus. Believe in all this stuff. Believe in Baal and Zoroaster and Tengri and that Confucius was God. Believe in all that, all you want. I don't care. Believe in it. Just don't try to shove your beliefs down my throat. That's all I care about. But anyway, get back to the point. I think black people, if anybody would need atheism, it will be black people. We're already the most superstitious bunch of people on this planet. We've been screwed by Abrahamic religion for so long. I mean, you look at it. Fundamental Islamists, Boko Haram, going around kidnapping people in Africa, in what is it, Kenya and Nigeria, and killing scores and scores and scores of people. Al-Shabaab in Somalia, the one terrorist group that was so wild that even Al-Qaeda like, whoa, y'all a little bit too wild for us, I mean, so that's a no to Islam, at least fundamental Islam, and really at that point is Islam in general. Okay, let's look at Judaism. I read a story today. Black Ethiopian Jews are not exactly equal when it comes to Israel. They're Jewish when it comes down to needing troops and needing fighters so that Israel can keep with their prison sort of prison industry state. as far as Palestinians concerned. But if you're Ethiopian, and you do this, and you're doing this, it's kind of like the same reason why blacks doing World War I and World War II and the Civil War and everything. Why they had to show, really show their mettle, because nobody was giving them a chance. Harlem Hellfires did what they did because it's not so much they were fighting for the country, because the country wasn't really doing nothing for them, but because they didn't have the opportunity to show the Americans what they had to offer. They were sent to France to act under the French. That's how little the Americans thought of, and they went out there and they ruled ass. Same thing with World War II. Same deal. So when it comes down that, it's kind of uniform for black people just kind of show off, because really one of the most disenfranchised Africans are like one of the most disenfranchised people on the planet. Probably is the most disenfranchised people. Dark-skinned Africans are. But going to Israel, no matter how hard you fight or how much you toe the line and everything, you're just not Israeli enough. So you can you can go ahead and check that off the list. So Abrahamic religion is you can just completely get rid of that. So you can go two ways. You can go towards Eastern animistic religions. Well, not necessarily animistic, but you can come a Hindu. I mean, it's working out for Rickett Williams. He's a Hindu. It's working great for him. Or you can follow Buddhism, or great for a lot of black people as well. I guess depending on type of Buddhism, because traditional Buddhism is inherently atheist, or really more also strong agnostic, or whatever. You can believe in that, or you can go back to your indigenous belief systems. A lot of those African religions, ancestral worship mostly. But you also got a third option. Just don't deal with it. Just don't deal with religion, period. Me, my friends, a lot of my friends, and a lot of a good handful of black people follow the third option. We're black people that do atheism, and we're proud of that. I guarantee you that. So for everyone who's out there dissing and denying that black atheists aren't out there, believe me, we're out there. You can look on YouTube. We're out there. You can look on blogs. We're out there. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. Everywhere that you don't want us to be, you better believe it. And let me tell you something else. A lot more of us are coming out. We are coming out the slave cabins. We're coming out the fields. We're coming out the cellars. We are coming out the slave master's house. And we are joining the world of atheists. We are uniting with other like-minded people. Because unlike y'all, we don't use our race as a crutch. And I do think a lot of black people use race as a crutch to spread racial bigotry. A lot of these black people in these black churches are some of the most racist people you'll ever meet in your life. But I can't guarantee you won't meet the atheists like that, but you better be damn sure that the vast majority of us aren't racist. And I tell you why. Because we drop religion. So you can sit here and continue to say black don't do atheism, continue to have that slave mentality, but until you recognize that we are here and we have a voice, and our voice is getting louder, and we're not scared of you anymore, we're not kowtowing to you, we're not gonna allow you to suppress us. We're gonna be loud and damn proud. And believe me when I say this, and I'm talking to you black Christians on there who might come on here and try to comment and everything, talking about I'm going to hell and all this and that, the other, and all that bullshit. That's fine. You can say what you want, but I can guarantee you this: you ain't shutting me up, because I exercise my First Amendment rights. You better believe that. Alright, fellow heathens and sheeple, if you enjoyed that episode of Heathenist Talk, please comment, rate, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe on Heathenist Talk, and please feel free, if you're a heathen like myself, or if you're saved, no matter what religion you are, to open up a debate topic. I will be commenting on there, every now and then. Don't feel shy about it, because I think debate is a beautiful thing. Stand up for your First Amendment rights. This has been Sam Duncan Sr., and this has been Heathenist Talk.